Check. Oh, you know what? I gotta hit that. Check. There we are. Hey.
Where are you?
Where are you? And I'm so sorry. I cannot sleep. I cannot dream tonight. I need somebody in always. From this sick straight darkness comes creeping on, so haunting every time. And as I stared, I counted.
Is Tom DeLonge's singing voice just a Philly accent?
Yes. The webs from all the spiders. That's the part I need to get to. Welcome to A Great Depression, the podcast for every mall rat, Jansport, backpack emo kid struggling with the boredoms of everyday adult life. Zach.
Let me hit your music.
Where are you?
New music.
I should have went like, the first, the last day sober. Recording today in the Union Fitness Studios located on the North Shore of Pittsburgh. Union Fitness, more than a traditional gym. It's a place where you can transform yourself inside and out. Based around a variety of classes. Yoga, strength, fitness, and performance training. At Union Fitness, they believe it is their duty to hold themselves and their clients to a higher standard. They practice what they preach and uphold the values that make Union Fitness the community that it is. Go to unionfitness.com today and sign up for a consultation. Through Union.
There's strength.
Woo!
Let's fucking go.
That was a great visual bit. If you are watching on YouTube, you're welcome.
Which you should, because my beard's growing out and I don't look as fat as I really am. So
yeah, but our you all dig the podcast, and we're sorry that we were off Apple for 2 weeks. We liked putting the daily banger just like as part of it, but what we found out is that they don't let you do that and put it on Apple. So what we're going to do this week, this is a whole show about music. And we're going to do this, just a regular podcast. It's going to come to you on your Apple platform so everybody can have it on the Purple app and be happy.
You can have it all.
But then we're going to do a old school radio DJ kind of like
we're exclusive
on Spotify, where we're gonna play a song from each of these bands. We're gonna kind of like go in and out of it, like we're radio DJs on the radio.
You are tuned in to ADG Live on Spotify.
Do you have a radio name?
No, but I'll make one up by the time we do that.
Okay, all right, I have one.
This is the Click Commander coming to you.
Jesus Christ. What was your recently 30 Pittsburgh or whatever? What was your user handle for the Sugar Mummy site?
You are listening to ADG Live with Newly 30 PA.
Yeah.
DJ, let me eat your mother.
Yeah. Hey. DJ Hammercock. DJ Joggers.
I wish I was Beetlejuice.
I know, right?
Make this all easier.
Okay, so here we go. Today, Zach, what are we doing?
We miss us, the royal we, whatever that means. I know it's a phrase.
It's a great song
by Silver Sun Pickups.
Yes, that's correct.
Yes. Shout out Silver Sun Pickups.
They did not make my list, but they could have.
Yeah. We started to discuss how deeply we miss live music.
Yes.
And let's say, in a perfect world, the lockdowns are over. You can go back outside.
Yay.
There's things to do.
Ooh.
There's shows going on. And just maybe, your favorite artist has been resurrected from the dead.
Ooh.
If you could plan 4 shows that are ideal for your re-entry into live music, what would they be?
Correct. And I'm very excited to do this.
Me fucking too.
It was very difficult, and I don't know how you went about approaching this. I don't know if you did like guilty pleasures or like just like you don't care. I made 4 shows with the 4 people I love going to shows with the most.
Okay.
So every show that I've created has that person that I would take with me to that show.
Okay. I base mine off of like what kind of mood I would want to be in.
Yeah, okay. I had that as well.
Yeah.
I also had a super sick one with John Mayer and the Grateful Dead in it, because John Mayer was in the Grateful Dead for like a year.
Was it Dead and Company?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, that would be cool.
Shout out John Mayer's TikTok.
Shout out John
It's
Mayer.
fucking hilarious.
I don't know.
Shout out John Mayer.
I don't know when he went from like your body is a wonderland to like influencer. But like, I'm okay that we're all like John Mayer now.
Yeah.
Other than that weird time where he dated Taylor Swift. But also, John, I get it.
I get it.
We get it.
I get it.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to start?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to go one for one?
Yeah.
Okay. So my first show. Let me set the tone.
Tell the people.
I'm somewhere in the Midwest, maybe closer to the West Coast, but not quite on the coast.
Colorado. Nevada.
Yeah.
Utah.
I'm somewhere on the plains.
Okay.
Wide open spaces.
Uh-huh.
It's sunset.
Mm-hmm.
In the distance, there's a gaucho calling in his flock. I stole that from a Colin Malloy live album, but
okay.
I'm somewhere on the plains. The sun is setting, and it's a chill evening of some of my favorite female artists.
Ooh, love this.
So to start off the show, we're gonna have a young lady named Rosie Tucker. Rosie Tucker recently released an album. She's a young female artist. It's kind of not quite punky, but kind of indie. I guess indie is the proper term. But I'm a big fan of her most recent record. I guess I should have looked up the names of the records. Fuck.
Well, I have it right in front of me.
Okay. Should I just restart this
whole
whole part?
Go ahead.
Okay. My first artist starting off the show is a young lady named Rosie Tucker. 2019 released an album. Never Not. It's a chill indie album. A good way to set the tone. After Rosie, coming to the stage next will be currently one of my favorite groups. It's a married couple that perform folk music. Shout out Mandolin Orange.
Oh, it is a sick hat.
It is a fucking sick hat.
When you walked in with that hat, I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Envy was through the roof.
When I saw a trucker hat that was like stitched, I was like, that's fucking good.
There we go. Yeah.
But yeah, Mandolin Orange, from one of the Carolinas, married couple, husband, wife. That's what marriage is. Unless you're married to another man or married to another woman, you know what the fuck I meant.
Depending if you're in Utah.
Yeah, depending where the fuck you live, you could have a harem of bitches in your house and that still be a marriage, I guess. Who the fuck knows? But yeah, soft, light, mellow folk music. Coming up next, my co-headliner, if you will, this woman named Deb Talon.
Okay.
She is part of another marriage group called the Weepies, but her solo shit is some of my favorite soft. I guess I'm at the point in my life where, like, I remember in the 90s, like, adult alternative was a genre.
Yes.
And I never knew what the fuck it was.
Kenny G, bitch.
Yeah.
There he goes.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think I'm at the point where, like, that's the shit I'm into. Like, what would be adult alternative? So,
hey, let your freak flag fly, baby.
Yeah, I'll call her singer songwriter / adult alternative.
So harder than Janis Joplin, or lighter than Janis Joplin.
Yes.
Okay, but not Jewel.
Jewel-esque.
Oh, Jewel-esque. Okay,
like
cool.
I thought this concert would be like, it's the father of this concert is Lil Affair.
Okay.
So, my headliner, the queen of 90s female artist for me, former singer of 10,000 Maniacs, Miss Natalie Merchant.
Okay.
That's my
so
girl.
We're somewhere in the Midwest.
Somewhere in the Midwest.
All lady lineup.
All female.
We're vibing.
Vibing heavy.
Yeah. The pot is plentiful.
Yeah, and you know what I realized the other day, and this is unrelated, but
You think you're a feminist?
No, definitely not. No, JK.
Yeah.
But really, I think I'm like a craft beer guy that doesn't drink craft beer.
Oh yeah, baby. Look at you right now.
And does
Look at you right now. I mean,
but does that just make me a douche?
I don't know.
Like, what do you call? Am I a hipster
I don't know. We hang out
in this room?
No, like we will.
Okay, cool.
Like that's
Yay.
Yeah.
I was worried, guys.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Zach doesn't call me. He
I
never picks
don't.
up.
I don't. I just bark orders at him.
Yeah.
But that's my show. That's my first one.
I'd go to that show. I don't know any of them, but I would go to that show.
You'd have a great fucking time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd like to think that we have like large containers of water with stickers on them. You know, like we look like we went hiking, but we didn't.
Nalgenes. Yeah, is what they're called.
Yeah. Maybe we're sleeping in hammocks that night. A coyote howls in the distance.
This
but
sounds like an amazing date that we're going on. Like, just take me away. I want to go.
You're gonna get your dick sucked.
Oh yeah.
I put out.
All right, this one there will be no dick sucking for my first one. Or any of these.
Don't make any promises.
Yeah. Right. So, like I said, I assigned them all to somebody. So the first one is with my mom, who is the reason that I love live music and is the reason I love music to begin with, and has been my show partner before I even knew what show partners were. You know what I mean? Like, you got your dude who's always like down to go. I was like, Mom, can we go see? And she's like, yep, we're going. So
I have to interject real quick.
Yeah.
So my love of Natalie Merchant comes from my mother. One of the first CDs that I remember listening in the car, because we had cassettes for like a long ass time, but one of the first CDs I remember is Tiger Lily. It's like Natalie Merchant's debut solo album. And a couple years ago, she came out with a movie, like a documentary called Paradise Is There. And it was like a documentary about making the album, but also re-recording like a chilled out acoustic reimagining of all the songs. And it was playing at whatever theaters there in Dormont. And I was like, Mom, this is like our album. Like, we have to go. And she was like, it's really just a CD I listened to. And I was like, it's something that I always like associated. Like, this is me and my mom's bond. And she was like, I don't want to go to that. And I was just like, okay. Yeah.
Sometimes being a mama's boy backfires.
Yeah, it really does. It really does.
It backfires. Okay, so where the fuck did this note go? Okay, so yeah, this is with my mom, and it's set. It's set on a beach. Okay, so there's this thing off the coast of Florida called Crab Island.
Okay,
which is just this island that's just a big bar. And there's like 2 boats a day that go out to it. One to take you out, one to bring you back.
Pirate ships.
Yes.
Okay.
And like you just get trashed and sit in the water and hang out, right? And that's like, Mom and I are like, that's us.
Yeah.
Like, she just wants to put her feet in the sand. I just want to be drunk in the water. Like, that's where we are. So we're on Crab Island. The opener, The Glorious Sons, which I think I've talked about. I don't know, it could have been on one of the demo episodes, but The Glorious Sons are the revival of rock and roll in a lot of ways. It's like a great party band. They got some jams that hit you in the feels. Pink Motel is my all-time favorite song from them. But like, that was the last show we saw together before quarantine. Like, literally 2 weeks, no, a week. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 weeks before quarantine, we were in Columbus, Ohio, driving through a Wendy's drive-thru. Well, that wasn't a great sentence, but
it was an autonomous driving car.
We were having a awesome fucking night, rocking out to The Glorious Sons, pounding White Claws like we were fucking white girls in a sorority.
Columbus shows just hit differently.
They fucking do.
And then was it at the venue that's designed the same as Stage AE?
No, but I do love that venue.
Because it's Stage AE.
It's Stage AE, but at least when we saw Incubus there, outside.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. Oh, dude, that was a great weird brother bonding experience, and we'll get to that show. Don't you fucking worry, JP. But like that, they had a deal with the bar next door that the band had to be in the bar for an hour after the show.
That's fucking...
Just like hang out.
So Incubus just like contractually had to hang out in this bar for now.
Right, but Jeremiah was under 18.
Oh.
I know. Soul crushing. We tried our asses off to get him in, and it just wasn't going to happen. Anyway, so Glorious Sons open it up. The next band on the set list is the best fucking band live going right now. It's the Struts. The Struts are party. We saw them at the Butler Drive-In during quarantine.
Yeah.
And, like, we took Justin from Thoughts from the Movies, and he was like, that's the best fucking live band I've ever seen. And, like, you don't even know shit. Because this was, like, outside at a drive-in. We couldn't hear them that well. Yeah. Like, imagine them, like, just, like, trashed, drinking all day. Like, oh, my God. When fucking the Struts came on, like, that would be electric. So Struts are the second band.
Oh, yeah.
Third band is the bonding band with my mom. So my family was so poor.
How poor were they?
How poor were they? That we had a paper route as a family.
It's the family business.
The family business was the paper route.
Hey.
We had like 3 of them. And so they were like driving paper routes, okay? And so essentially what it would be is that like I would go help my mom on this paper route job, and we had Aerosmith's Greatest Hits. And we wore that thing out. And my mom loved Aerosmith as a kid. Toys in the Attic was one of her first albums. Like Aerosmith was her band growing up.
Yeah.
And so then when they kind of had the renaissance with like I Don't Want to Miss a Thing, and like I'm a kid, and it was like this cool like moment where like her band was also my band at like the same time, and it all kind of like gelled beautifully. And then we actually got to go see Aerosmith with my best friend Josh Oshie and his mom, who were going through the same thing together, where like Aerosmith, and so like two mother sons at an Aerosmith concert rocking out. Like it was one of my favorite absolute favorite moments. And then all around that time, my grandparents on my dad's side, his parents took us to Disney World. And this is when the Rockin' Roller Coaster had just opened up, which was the Aerosmith themed roller coaster.
Yeah.
And so like mom, big roller coaster rider, me being the perfect age to just be like all in on roller coasters, an Aerosmith roller coaster, and we're just going like back in line, just the 2 of us. So Aerosmith is the second headliner, the co-headliner, if you will. And then number 1, the best band to ever do it, the biggest live band in the history of rock and roll, Queen. That's my resurrection. I bring Queen. I bring Freddie Mercury back from the grave. And, yeah, we just fucking rock out to Queen. Queen is super important to my family. Don't Stop Me Now is like our family theme song. That sounds weird. But like just the one day, like we all were driving, or we were all pulling weeds in the backyard, like doing yard work, and like that just came on the radio, and like this like beautiful like storybook moment happened where we all just got up and started dancing around to Don't Stop Me Now, and that song followed us through the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
And like it's really, you will never see a happier group of people crying to Don't Stop Me Now than like my family. So yeah, Queen closes out the night. We end with fucking We Are the Champions and go home, and it's just like we're drunk on Crab Island and Queen is playing We Are the Champions. Like that's it. I die happy.
Gave me chills.
Right? It would be the best. And you're just drinking with your mom. That's the best. There's a special place in heaven where you get trashed with your mom every day.
Yeah. I tried so... I'm trying to think if me and my mother have ever shared a drink. My mom never drank when I was growing up. And I think maybe on my 21st birthday.
That's a bummer.
We had a drink at the casino together.
My mom has a drunk nickname as an adult.
Oh, what is it?
Brandy with an I.
Brandy Saucy. I can only imagine saying it in the Woody Harrelson anger management voice. Oh, Brandy.
So Brandy was created at a strut show in Lancaster.
Ooh.
Or no, in Harrisburg. we were hanging out with like all these people. Like it was just the three of us, my brother, my mom, and I, and like we like made friends with the people around us. And we're just like kind of waiting for the bands to start, and we're like kind of hanging out, and everybody's got their beer, and all of a sudden, so my mom's real short. She's like 5'4". Okay, she's like a little Irish woman. And so Jeremiah and I are just standing there, we're like kind of like hanging out, talking to everybody, and all of a sudden we like look and we're like, shit, Susie's gone. And all of a sudden you just see this like tray, like a waitress tray, bobbing through the crowd, and you hear, excuse me, pardon me, excuse me. Fucking Susan went to the bar and bought 16 shots.
Ain't pour no more.
And was just handing them out to people in the crowd. Just dealing them out like a fucking card dealer. And like, not only is that like the most baller fucking move ever, but then like, where did she get the waitress tray from?
So I've never seen your mother.
Yeah.
But I know two things now. She was short.
Yeah.
She was happy.
Uh-huh.
And she had a tray. I am picturing Bob's big boy coming.
Pretty much. Just like bouncing around like, hi.
Fuck yes.
Hey, do you want one of these? But she then proceeded to challenge my brother to a drinking competition. And my brother, like, JP can drink. Like, JP could kill a case by himself and not blink of, like, PBR. So, like, he's a big boy.
It's the rock off from the end of Tenacious D.
Right. And so the two of them are just, like, she's bringing back shots and beers, and they're, like, car bombing and shit. And, like, I just keep going, like, just, like, throwing it over my shoulder and shit. And I'm acting like I'm drinking with them. I'm not drinking because I know one of us has to drive home.
It's the scene in Raiders.
Yes. He turns it over his shoulder. But yeah, man. So they got trashed that night. That was also the first time they shared a joint, and that was a big night for Jeremiah. Yeah. They also traded some really not so tasteful drug stories, and I've never done drugs like other than pot. So like, I just felt like so not cool sitting in the cars or going back and forth in these like shady drug stories, and I'm like, one time I got drunk at Doug Green's house and like there was a gun.
I sucked it off.
I sucked off the gun. All right, you're up.
Oh man, that's a hard one to follow. Jesus Christ. My
mom parties. Like you will inevitably meet my mom, and then you'll just want to hang out with my mom.
Fuck it.
Yeah, it happens.
I do love older women.
And she's single. Sugar mommy, not necessarily, but she does party. She will buy you booze.
I feel like that would put a huge divide in our friendship.
Could bring us closer, Dad.
Oh, yeah. I can't say I'd be a good dad. I don't have much to go off of.
Oh fuck!
I'd be the dad from the Queen's Gambit.
This might be our fucking shining show already.
This might be
it.
So while we're in the business of resurrecting artists,
yeah.
Let's resurrect places.
Ooh.
Let me take you back to a place that
Pontiac Silverdome.
No. No, the Parthenon. No, but if you're listening to this, chances are you probably live in the Pittsburgh area, have been in the Pittsburgh area.
Oh, I already know what you're bringing back, and I'm going to kiss you on the mouth.
We're going to the Altar Bar.
Oh.
We're going to the fucking Altar Bar. And you know what? In this dream scenario, that McDonald's is still open.
That McDonald's is still open, and Batman is still selling you weed in the fucking basement.
And they won't kick you out for smoking in that McDonald's.
Oh, man.
They did in real life, but this time they won't.
Yes. I don't even care who's playing. I'm there.
Yeah. So we're at the Altar Bar, and my first band to open it up, we're going to get a little rowdy. Give me Masked Intruder.
Oh, I got a knife.
I got a knife. We're going on a crime
fucking
spree.
Right.
I'm giving you all of my love. Give me Masked Intruder. If
Dude,
you're not
I'm
familiar, they're a punk band. I think they are or were on Fat Records. They all wear ski masks of different colors, which matches their Converse, which also matches the color of their instruments. And
very
it's fun.
well put together.
It's a fun
pop punk.
Yeah, it's fucking great. I mean, I think honestly one of the most talented pop punk bands in terms of like melodies and like They have some like kind of like 50 sounding songs in there. Like they're really creative with the music they do. Second up, a band that I never thought I would see, but I had the chance of seeing at Riot Fest in 2016. There's a lot of times you see bands and you're like, this is really good, but I don't know all the songs. So what's better than a band that plays all the songs that you already know that are all bangers? Give me Me First and the Gimme Gimmes. The quintessential punk fucking cover band.
Their Country Roads album cover is my favorite version of Country Roads.
They're incredible. And fun fact, they were booed out of PNC Park. They played before Fireworks once, and they said they made, I think it's a Nardwuar interview with Fat Mike, and he said that they made it through like 3 songs, and then they were just booed. And they were supposed to play 4 nights, and they were told not to come back after the first show.
Pittsburgh, you're better than that.
I know, especially because like not many major acts come through Pittsburgh anymore anyway. So like,
I can't believe you just called Me First and the Gimme Gimmes a major act.
It's like a punk rock super group.
Yeah,
kind of.
That whole sentence proves that it's not a major act.
It's not. It's not the Clarks, and it's not Donnie Iris.
Right.
It's not Joe Kershecki.
Right.
You know.
It's not Randy Bauman doing impressions.
Yeah. Although I would kill for that right now.
Yeah, that's in your set.
My co-headliner, as of Sunday, I think they said, released in 2006, making 2021 15-year anniversary. Give me Anti-Flag playing for Blood and Empire in its entirety.
Okay.
One of my favorite shows ever was seeing Anti-Flag at the Rex. They put the fucking drum set in the pit, and it was just fucking gnarly. So give me that.
Yeah,
solid.
Out. Chris number 2 and Jane.
Shout out. And then my headliner, because we're having a night, it's fucking Altar Bar. Just give me NoFX. Fucking give it to me.
I mean, he's already there.
He's already there. He's already there.
Yeah.
Might as well.
Might as well.
It's a 2-for-1er.
That's like I saw they did the International Superheroes of Hardcore, that Newfound Glory like hardcore band.
Okay.
It was just like a bunch of songs about superheroes.
Yeah.
So they played as like the opener for Newfound Glory.
Really?
Yeah, like they played in like masks and shit. It was nobody knew what was going on but me, and I was like 18 and very into what was going on.
I saw NoFX at Warped Tour when I was in high school, and I cried.
I could understand that, especially when. Did you know about the bit when you went to NoFX, or was that like the first time you learned about the bit?
It was like the first time I learned about the bit.
Okay.
But also, what made it so magical, it was so fucking hot out, and it was me, a hilariously large woman, and then the rail. And her fat ass couldn't hang, and she passed out.
Oh, no.
And I remember assisting her with hitting the ground. So as she was falling, I had 2 options. I could have tried to catch her, or
let her go.
Gravity was going to do its thing, so I just kind of like pushed her away from falling onto me so I could hop over her and get against the rail as they went on. And I was like, this is great.
And that's exactly what you would do at a NoFX show.
Yeah,
that's how you do
if I'm going to be a scumbag,
it's
peak scumbag is a NoFX show.
Cool.
That's Altar Bar.
And that's where you would see that show.
Fuck yeah.
That was well done.
Yes.
That was well done.
Thank you.
Okay. Joey Reed, listen up, you sexy fucking man. So my guy Joey Reed is my guy who introduced me to a lot of the music I listen to now, and is my current show buddy. Like, hey, so and so's playing. All right, I'm there. I'm going. Whatever.
Yeah.
And we have had some hairy incidents. We have had some great shows, and we've been through all of it, thick and thin. It's the best. We have matching tattoos. So yeah. Broskies for life. And so this one, Joey, is set at the Agora Theater and Ballroom in Cleveland, Ohio, which is a 3-stage venue.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never been.
Or not, they can trick that thing into 3 stages.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. But obviously this is going to take the main ballroom, which is 3 stories and amazing. It's one of the coolest show places I've ever been. We're going to open it up with Can't Swim. Can't Swim's a New Jersey post-hardcore band that is really special to us. Joey was going through a really bad breakup at the time, and Can't Swim just released a new album. And we went to go see them, and it had this Hanya on the cover. And we got like merch with the Hanya on it and stuff. And Joey's like, hey, I want to do matching tattoos with you. I'm like, it's fucking sweet, same. And so we got this Hanya tattoo inspired by that album that helps him get through a really bad breakup. Mine's on my knee, his is on his arm. And so yeah, man, fuck. Can't Swim's awesome. Real weird, kind of like asexual sounding mad at women guy, but like that's what we needed at the time. Yeah. So and it was really fucking good. So Can't Swim opens it up. Then the hardest band that I listen to regularly, Knocked Loose. Joey had an extra ticket and he's like, can we go? And I was like, I don't really like any of the bands that are on this bill. Like, I don't know, man. He's like, just go. And I'm like, okay. So I showed up and had a fucking blast at this Knock Loose show. Like, I didn't know a fucking lick of their music or anything about them. And I was just like, all right, let's see what happens. That is the best vibe. It brought me back to like the first time you were in a pit where like you fall for the first time in a pit and you're like, oh my God, that person's going to die. And then you realize how the pit comes to a screeching halt, picks that person back up, and then it goes back to chaos. That's the whole show. And like Knocked Loose controls their pit like no band I've ever fucking seen. They don't have to say, let's see a circle pit. The pit knows, like they have like a rundown, like, oh, this song's playing. That means mosh pit. Okay, now circle pit on the next. Like, that's how good Knocked Loose is. Fucking love Knocked Loose.
I have their latest album on my phone.
Yeah.
And if any of those songs come on while I'm driving, I'm startled.
Yes.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, they're fucking awesome. Also, honorable mention to Harm's Way in this one. Harm's Way, the lead singer, is basically what Joey and I wish we looked like.
A Goliath.
It's inked out of his fucking mind.
It's like, it's startling.
He's a specimen.
He's startlingly large.
A specimen.
Yeah.
Okay. The next band, in this one, the co-headliners is truly a co-headliner. I put them in the order that I want to see them. Joey would probably flip them. Spotify says that they should be flipped, but I don't give a shit.
Fuck them.
Next is Neck Deep, the pop punk band from Wales. This was the first band, like as Joey and I were starting our bromance. He was like, you like this band? And I was like, oh, and like consumed it wholeheartedly. And we tried to see this band together 3 fucking times. The first time there was a snowstorm and we couldn't get to them. The second time I had to go on a bachelor party and couldn't go with him. So he took my wife.
Hey.
She had a blast. And then the final time we finally got to see them at RIP Rex. But we saw them at the Rex, and that is a fucking band. That's an old school pop punk band. They get it. Yeah. They're awesome. Yeah, fucking they're awesome. So Neck Deep. Then finally, there's very few times you go to a show and you've seen the band that you came for and you're like, all right, let's see what this headliner's about. And the headliner captivates you to the point where you go home and consume everything about that fucking band that you possibly can. There are 2 other bands that have happened. This has happened for me, and they've already been named. Knock Loose and Glorious Sons. The other band is The Story So Far. I have never seen... It was like the first time I saw Ghost. That was the amount of crowd participation and like almost hero worship that was involved between the crowd and the band. And I had sprained my ankle during was it Turnover? One of the really good bands that we went to see, I sprained my ankle in the pit. So I was like kind of like posted up on the side of this like railing, and Joey was like down in the pit for The Story So Far. But I was stunned at the relationship between the band and the audience, and then the music itself has just really spoke to me personally. Battles with anger and depression, and trying not to use substances to counter that. And I mean, the whole thing is just so. That's the bromance trip to the Agora Theater and Ballroom in Cleveland is Can't Swim, Knock Loose, Neck Deep in the story so far.
I know I said this for Columbus, but it might be true for all shows in Ohio. Maybe just Ohio's shows
Ohio's different because that's all they have.
Yeah.
And they like, if a show's in town, they don't care they're there.
Yeah.
Like, I've never been to a show in Ohio that wasn't sold out.
It's a good call. Have you ever been to Beachland Ballroom?
Yes. Second favorite.
Yeah.
Second favorite.
It's a magical place.
Yes. That's what we saw Best Coast there.
Oh.
Yeah.
I went there to see this country guy, Charlie Crockett, and they had like, you could get a hams and a shot of like Old Granddad for like $1, and I was like,
yeah, Beachland Ballroom fucks.
Yeah, it's
also
fantastic.
It's kind of like the Rex where there's no green room. So like the other bands that aren't the headliners are just kind of like wandering around.
Yeah.
That's what's Yeah,
I got real fucked up. Good times.
All right, what's your third show?
So my third show, we're gonna get rowdy again, but this is gonna be a different kind of rowdy. This is gonna be maybe for the No Effect show, I'm drinking some beers.
Bears.
This is gonna be a whiskey night.
It's
gonna be a whiskey night.
Oh man!
And it's taking place at a
So help me God, if Leonard Cohen's on this sack, I will fucking quit this podcast in a minute.
No, that's like a gin and pineapple kind of night or something. But this is a venue I've never been to, but I've heard about it. Growing up in Pittsburgh, there was always like a random ad on the X for a show that was happening here.
The Chevrolet Amphitheater.
No.
Damn it.
Even more iconic and mysterious.
Hmm.
We're going to the Pepsi Cola Roadhouse.
Oh.
I've never been. It could be a brothel. It was like next to Star Lake.
Yeah.
It was like next to the parking lot.
Right.
But it always looked vacant.
Mm-hmm.
But there were always like weird country shows there.
I imagine it's Jurgles now.
Yeah.
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 And I saw Fozzy at Jurgles. Greatest fucking night ever.
Really?
Like, I can't wait till like Sister Hazel shows up at Jurgles again, because we're just gonna get trash and eat wings, and it's gonna be great.
For my friend's birthday, we went there for a Dave Matthews cover band.
Oh my God.
It was electric. It was so fucking fun.
That's like the trailer park has emptied, and
oh yeah,
it's like let's go night. It's fucking awesome.
When I was working for Iron City, there was a arm wrestling tournament there.
Yeah,
and I saw a dude like fucking snap his arm.
Oh man.
And it was like Jurgles.
This
is Jurgles. This is Jurgles energy. Like,
my good he's coming on 2 Beers Deep to promote his album in April, but Frank Vieira is a common guy at Jurgles.
Yeah.
And Frank and I went to school together.
I'm familiar. I think he does things with the Raised Rowdy Boys.
Probably.
Yeah. Good dude.
Warm beer.
So
better than no beer.
Amen.
Yep.
So we're at the Pepsi Cola Roadhouse.
Love it.
We're having a rowdy night. My first artist up, country artist from the West Coast, Mr. Jesse Daniels.
Duh.
Came out with an album.
Softball.
Yeah. Came out with a debut album. Soft Spot for the Hard Stuff was the first single on it. And when I heard it, I was like, this is it. This is it.
I think I'm going to this show too.
Yeah. It's a fucking wild song about a dude getting set up by like a DEA agent and going to jail. It's fucking great. It's everything I love about country music. He's starting it off. My second, still well known, I guess, for those who know, but maybe not so much to the outside world. You have the, Godfather of the family, Hank Sr. Everybody knows Hank Jr.
Right.
And then there's the man, Hank III. Hank III is obviously the grandson of Hank Williams Sr. Does a lot of country shit, but has had like metal and punk albums mixed in there and shit. But
have you talked to Todd Hammer?
No.
He loves.
Really?
Yeah, the third.
Hank the Third is just a wild motherfucker that I've never seen live and would love to. And at the Pepsi Cola Roadhouse, it would go down. You see him. It would go the fuck down.
It is a whiskey night for sure.
It is.
For sure.
My co-headliner, a man who I'm under the impression just played 7 nights in a row at Daytona Bike Week, the incomparable, and somehow, I'm sure he's canceled. I don't know. If he's not, they're coming. Mr. David Allen Coe.
Okay. Yeah.
A pioneer of the outlaw country movement. Definitely has some questionable songs in his catalog, but we're here for the hits. You can leave that shit outside.
Nothing but the hits.
Nothing but the hits. I had the chance to see him in Ohio a couple years ago, but I didn't because of snow. But just an old fuck now. He sits on a stool. He's got the headset microphone, which is just like,
next level.
Where bad boys go to die, I guess. And then for my headliner, if we're really going to have an emotional evening, they're not all dead. Some of them are. I want the Highwaymen. The country supergroup consisting of Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings, Johnny Cash, and Chris Christopherson.
I would have went with Skynyrd to top off that group.
Not a Skynyrd guy.
But I think that's a even better replacement.
Hey, by the time they come on, I mean...
You're like 4 or 5 glasses of
I'm
whiskey.
already wasted, and I'm ready to get emotional.
Yeah.
And seeing the ghost of Waylon, the ghost of Johnny. I honestly don't know if Chris Christopherson's still alive or not, but he was in one of the original, not the original, but one of the, I think in the 70s, the version of, the fuck is that movie? The movie with Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga. A Star is Born. Yeah, he was in A Star is Born with Barbra Streisand in the 70s,
yes.
I think.
Yeah.
But
you're right.
I mean, if I could hear them play Highwayman, get me a little Willie solo, a little Johnny solo, give me, a little Waylon solo, that'd be
wild
fucking
to see.
chef's kiss.
That'd be really good.
Yeah.
That would be really good.
Start off rowdy, ended in tears. Like most drinking nights.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
At
the Pepsi Cola Roadhouse.
Pepsi Cola Roadhouse. That's a fucking no-brainer.
And maybe whoever drove wasn't your designated driver, and you go the long way home through Raccoon to avoid the police. You just have an evening.
All right. This next offering, this little sweetie one. This is for me and my lady.
Ooh.
There is a place called the Gorge Amphitheater in Washington, and a music festival called Sasquatch used to be there.
Yeah.
And
they don't do Sasquatch anymore?
No. Yeah.
Because of COVID or?
Period. I think it's just done. But Anastasia got to go, and she went the year before she met me. And, the story she tells about Sasquatch is so beautiful. You're like basically on a mountain ridge is behind the stage, and you're on a hill, and it's overlooking this beautiful landscape. And, so we're there. Okay. The opening band is a band that we have. You know how like people follow the Grateful Dead?
Yeah.
We follow Whitney. And Whitney, not Whitney Houston. Whitney is a band that's like, man, they're a throwback to like a guy playing on a fucking cocktail kit and like a full band, multiple guitars, multiple horn section. They're really a unique artist. They're based out of Chicago, but we have seen them just about everywhere. And oddly enough, we've been to like CD release parties on accident where they're like, we didn't know that they were even doing anything. And like, we just saw something on Instagram and just went and like talking to the drummer, like, and crazy shit like that.
Yeah.
We saw their first show back in Chicago, after they had like kind of gone on this tour, and they like blew up on the tour. It was really weird. Like they released an album, nobody knew about it. Then they went on tour a year later. There was a gap because they were all in other bands and they were committed to something for that year. So they're on tour and they become like this overnight sensation to a large part. And they sell out the Millennium Theater in downtown Chicago, that big outdoor amphitheater.
Yeah.
They sold it out. And like it was really cool because it was a free show. It was just part of the summer series like we have here. but it's like this hometown band that has now become this gigantic cult sensation. So we've seen them there. We've seen them in Brooklyn. We've seen them in Pittsburgh. Like we just traveled around the country to see them. So got to start with Whitney. That band means a lot to us. That's the band, like the second we get in the car to go on one of our trips, bang, Whitney's the first fucking thing in. So,
oh, yeah.
Whitney is the opener. Next, Local Natives. She saw Local Natives at Sasquatch, and then we saw them again in Columbus in that venue that's set up just like Stage AE.
Shout out.
But this is a band that's kind of cool because like we both knew about them independently, and then we met, and I was like, "Do you like the Local Natives?" She's like, "Oh, I love the Local Natives," and I was like, "Cool." And so like that's a really important band, and they've kind of evolved over time. And Anastasia stayed a big fan of them, and now that their newest album that came out, I'm a giant fan of. But it kind of feels like a band that's kind of just been with us the whole time.
Yeah.
So I love them. Local Natives is next. Now I'm gonna use my Resurrection for my co-headliner.
Bring them up.
Are you ready?
Bring them up, Dad.
I don't think you know who this is though.
Okay, we'll find out.
Cause she ain't going to rehab. No. Amy Winehouse.
You don't think I know Amy Winehouse?
No. That I was gonna say that. You said like bring them up, like it was gonna be this like rapper or something. No. So Amy Winehouse. Anastasia loves piano. She played piano. She's obsessed with like Regina George and like
Regina Spektor.
Thank you, Regina Spektor. Jesus Christ, Regina Spektor. Who sang "Criminal"?
Fiona Apple.
Fiona Apple's one of her favorites. Alicia Keys. So like that kind of piano-driven music is huge for her. Amy Winehouse, maybe the biggest of that genre, if you will. But Amy was something that I never really paid attention to. And then Anastasia like put on Back to Black the one day, and I was like, oh, what is this? This is like church. And so we've, consumed everything Amy. We have Amy on record. There was a good time for about a year. We would cook dinner, put on Back to Black, and just chill out for the night. And so to be able to see Amy Winehouse in live and in person would be fucking sweet.
There was a pool hall in Bridgeville called the Golden Q.
Uh-huh.
I used to go to a lot, and I had like a playlist for the jukebox when I got there, and it always started with "You Know I'm No Good."
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is a preview for the special bonus episode on Spotify. So there you go. And then finally, the last artist, almost a complete departure from everything else that we were just talking about, but the only reason I genuinely believe that my wife was willing to even talk to me was because I liked Donald Glover.
Okay.
And I knew Childish Gambino.
Yes.
Thank you, Mike Dawson. You created a relationship, whether you know it or not. The day you played Freaks and Geeks for me in our dorm or your dorm room, I had to know everything about it because Freaks and Geeks was a banger. Became obsessed with Donald Glover and was doing this presentation, and I said how Donald Glover was my hero because not only was he, a Emmy-winning television writer and actor, but he, directed and did his own movies, and he sings, and he's just like, he can't be put in a box. He's a true Renaissance man, and that's how I saw myself at the time. And she like stuck around after my presentation and talked to me about it. So, DG, bummed you didn't get our invitation to the wedding, but
did you invite him?
Oh yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Donald Glover, Childish Gambino, and he could play whatever the fuck he wants. But if I could ask, I could just ask for one fucking song. But you gotta play Do You Like? Because this was our first song, if we had a song.
Ooh.
It was Do You Like?
I can fuck with that.
Dude, this song is... Unfortunately, a lot of his mixtape stuff isn't on Spotify because he doesn't have rights to, like, Adele.
Yeah.
But...
Adele.
It's all still online.
Sign
I think
the
it's still on SoundCloud, too, so... Got that swagger. Dude, it's so good. It's so good. So, yeah, that's from a babe. That's my babe one out at the what is it? A Gorge Amphitheater. The Gorge Amphitheater. So
shout out Gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Shout out.
Thank you, Gorgeous.
Looking gorgeous.
She is gorgeous. Anyway.
So my fourth show.
Yeah.
A place that I've never been, but would love to go because it looks maybe the most picturesque music venue. Take me to Red Rocks.
I left Red Rock off because I was like, I know some other venues and I know Zach's gonna bring it up. But if both of us had left Red Rock off, I would have pulled the fucking e-brake on this show.
It was between Red Rock or the Acropolis because Yanni made it look so good.
Right.
Which if you've never indulged, Yanni live at the Acropolis literally will bang your fucking speakers out.
Yeah.
It's wild. But to start it off, I don't even know what the fuck to call this guy. I guess it's in the vein of like this kind of weird 90s new age, not quite Enya-esque, but in that same vein as like Enya and Enigma. But it's a gentleman who goes by Adimos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fucking right.
We're bringing him out.
At Red Rocks.
Yes.
You just took the Delta 8 too, and it's just hitting.
Yeah. So Adimus has a song called Adimus. It was the intro song. This is another preview for the Spotify episode, exclusive music review. But it was like the intro to this HBO series of animated Bible stories.
Okay.
That like was on HBO for a reason because they were fucking weird. But every Sunday night, the fam would order Pizza Hut and we'd watch these fucking. And I was just like, what is this song? And it was Adimus, and in the vein of like the most 90s, early 2000s thing you could think of. It was on a compilation of other new age songs.
Awesome.
That was at Target on the little like, it's where they had like buzz ballads and all that shit, and you would press the little square.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're bringing Adimus out for this one. My next opener, like a pop dance group from the UK called Hot Chip.
Okay.
Just like very, I get maybe like house music. I don't know. It's like the closest thing to EDM that I'll listen to, I guess.
This is really interesting because those are very digital artists to this point. I think of Red Rock. I think like Mumford & Sons and folk and like.
Oh no, we're just
like harmonies and shit.
We're just having like a spacey night.
Okay, cool.
We're gonna have a spacey night here.
Also a great place to do it.
Yeah. This is like the most of my shows. Maybe, I think slightly more so than the first one on the plains with the females. Just like
chilling.
We're gonna get in a zone and we're just gonna fucking ride it out. So my co-headliner, it's hard to put him as a co-headliner, but there's a goat ahead of him. Give me my man Maz. Give me Morrissey. You know, just
you're
whatever.
Vibing. You're vibing.
With the exception that I can't deal with like
that hour video,
the hour fucking montage that'll take me out of my fucking zone. But give me Morrissey. You know, just give me whatever set. You know, the sets are, you know, he'll sprinkle in some Smith songs, he'll sprinkle in some covers. Give me that. And then by the time that I am ready to just
lift off,
fucking meet Jesus, go past the veil, enter another dimension, bring me back from the dead Leonard Cohen.
Knew this
to send me off. I
knew that this piece of shit was gonna fucking bring Leonard Cohen into it.
I have to. I want the stage to be black.
All black. Just a single spotlight.
And then we start with the intro to Famous Blue Raincoat. And they come out on stage and we just fucking go into the abyss.
Wow.
And if that's, I mean, he's dead, so obviously not happening. But if that was like,
I like that you emptied your bag though on your fourth show.
I had to.
Yeah, because I emptied my bag too. Mine is, this fourth show is so fucking scattered it doesn't make sense, but like it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's fucking brilliant. I love that.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so the final show. My brother first show with me. I had broken up with my girlfriend that I dated all through high school, who we both loved Incubus. And we were supposed to drive to Columbus to see them, and we were like spending the night, and it was like this really cool. Or no, we weren't spending the night. We were in high school. There was no way that was gonna happen. But we were driving to Columbus. It was gonna be the first time I saw Incubus. It was gonna be this really big deal because Incubus was, I don't know that they are anymore, but they definitely were for like at least a good part of my life, my favorite band, hands down, no questions asked. So we broke up. And it was my birthday present, like from me to go see them. And I had these tickets, and I just looked at my brother. I'm like, you want to go see Incubus? And he's like, I really don't know Incubus. And I'm like, well, guess what, buddy? You're going.
Come under my wing.
So we drive, and Jeremiah has been listening to nothing but Incubus for weeks. And
to prep himself,
like a good fucking show bro does, but also a good brother does. And so we drive all the way to Columbus, and Incubus just melts our fucking faces. They are perfect. They are spot on. They play Vitamins, Certain Shade of Green, Nebula, some of the old shit off of Science, and then like all the good new shit. It was the Moments and Melodies tour, which, as you know, was their greatest hits album. So like it was just a beautiful fucking night. On the way home, the only thing that's fucking open is White Castle. So we're eating White Castle. Jeremiah's puking out the window because the White Castle made him sick. Like, amazing night. We listened to Dane Cook the whole way home. Like we've been on some trips as brothers, but that one was so special and so perfect. So, that's where we're going. JP and I are going on a fucking trip to the O2 Arena in England. Because let's get on a plane this time, Jeremiah. Why the fuck not? And the opening band is Mindless Self-Indulgence.
Oh, it's a fucking night.
So, Mindless Self-Indulgence. The year after my dad died. It was Halloween. And my brother had gotten into my CD collection while I was away at school. And found Mindless Self-Indulgence. He's 13. Which is exactly when you should find Mindless Self-Indulgence.
Yeah.
To be honest, that's really where you should be getting into it.
Yeah.
But he finds Mindless Self-Indulgence, and he's like, Josh, I really like this band. I was like, I also really like this band. And so we find tickets to this show in Toledo. And my mom goes, Josh is 18. They've gone on a trip to Columbus already together to go see Incubus. Like, go. You can do this. You're an adult. Like, take your brother.
Your brother's 13.
My brother's 13. And my mom had heard Mindless Self-Indulgence. So, like, she kind of knew. Kind of. So we drive to Toledo, Ohio, which is on the other side of fucking Ohio. And, like, my mom got us, like, a hotel room. So, like, we didn't have to drive back that night. You know, it was a good setup.
Yeah.
And so we get in, we check into the hotel, and like we meet these people in the hotel, and they're like dressed up, and we're like, why are you guys in, like, we were in costumes because it was a Halloween show. My brother was the doctor from Doctor Patient, and I think I was a Ninja Turtle. But like, I know, right? I was 19. just dressed up as a Ninja Turtle. Some things never change. I don't
save some pussy for the rest of us.
Right. In Hot Topic Ninja Turtle.
Oh.
Like the hat with Donatello, and like just like the shirt, and like not even like full Ninja Turtle, like douchey Hot Topic Ninja Turtle. We meet these people in the hotel, and they're in these costumes. Like, why are you guys in costumes? And they're in like big costumes, like mascot costumes. And it doesn't make any sense. And so then this guy starts telling us about the opening band for Mindless Self-Indulgence called Green Jello. Do you know what Green Jello is? Yes. And so Green Jello is like this gore light is a good way to describe them.
Okay.
They're more sci-fi based and less like evil pigs from outer space.
Yeah.
I don't know. But like less blood, more fun.
Yeah.
Is a good way to put it. So he's telling us all about this. We're like, oh man, that sounds cool too. Like, we can't wait to do that, right? So we're driving to the venue, and Jeremiah's like, I'm hungry. And I'm like, okay. So we're in Toledo, Ohio, which, if you don't know, not exactly the greatest fucking place on earth. And we're driving around, and the only thing there is a Popeyes. So we go to the Popeyes. And Jeremiah and I, neither of us, like, I've lived in Moon for 6 months. Jeremiah's never left Butler, really. So we've never had Popeyes.
Yeah.
And so, like, we're kind of like, all right, it's like shitty KFC. Like, we don't understand what to order. And we drive around, and the window for the drive-thru is, like, got the bulletproof rotator on it.
Goddamn right it does.
And 2 boys from Butler County have never seen this before, right? And so I'm like, I don't know what this is. Like, I don't know what we're doing here. And so they slide the food out through the tray, and I look in the rearview mirror, and the guy behind me has a gun, and he's pointing it out the window. And he's yelling and laying on his horn. And I'm just like, I'm 19 and have no idea what to do here. So I just fucking floor it out of it. And, like, we're driving. Like, I've never driven that fast. I'm, like, white knuckle driving, like, 80 miles an hour in a 40, like, just trying to get away from that scenario. So we get to the venue, and we're in, like, the strip mall. And we're like, is a venue here? Like, you know, we'd been to, like, Altar Bar and, like, some other stuff, you know what I mean? So, like, Smalls, and, like, we're like, this isn't like a venue. And I'm sitting there, and I'm, like, looking, and I keep, like, looking at MapQuest at this point, and I'm, like, reading the name of the venue again and again and again and again. And I'm, like, looking, and I'm looking, and I'm looking. And the only things that are in here, nail salon, Chinese restaurant, and a titty bar. And so we start to see people line up outside the titty bar in costumes. And we see the guy from the hotel lined up outside the titty bar. So I'm like, I guess the show is in the titty bar.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
So Jeremiah, at the age of 13, went to his first titty bar. And he saw mindless self-indulgence. He saw his first pair of boobs and then multiple other pairs of boobs. He touched butts and boobs for the first time because, like, girls are just, like, dancing and, like, doing crazy shit to him. And he's, like, he's 13, but he looks 18 because he's, like, 6'2" and, like, you know, looks like a guy. And he, like, puked on some girl's shoes. He almost passed out. Like, it was an incredible fucking night.
Fuck yeah.
So mindless self-indulgence has to open the JP and Josh Ultimate Show.
Let's go.
Mindless self-indulgence.
Let's fucking go.
Then we kind of already did the Incubus story, but Incubus is the second act.
Ooh.
And I know you're like, Incubus is the second act, Josh. So that seems like a little low for Incubus. Well, that's because the top 2 are just all-time world-class first ballot Hall of Famers, no questions fucking asked. The co-headliner, the Red Hot Chili Peppers. So Red Hot Chili Peppers, I love. I took my senior photo in a Red Hot Chili Peppers t-shirt. And it was kind of cool because I don't think that was ever a band that I really shared with my brother. And he kind of went through his 90s alt phase a little later in life.
Yeah.
But now we're both like, Red Hot Chili Peppers, fuck. And we both have never seen them live. Now, I almost saw them live at Bonnaroo, but my wife passed out from eating too many pot chocolates. So her friends guilted me into taking her back to the tent, and I did not get to see the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I would have. Well, you're married, and I'm not, so.
It's still one of those things where I'm like, why were her friends so mean? Like, why couldn't she just sleep in the grass and I could watch the Red Hot Chili Peppers? I didn't see anything wrong with that scenario. There were other people sleeping.
Yeah.
It's Bonnaroo.
Like, I'm sure you took her somewhere and they were like, yeah, she's high.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Like, cool.
So is everybody else
right.
here.
Yeah. So Red Hot Chili Peppers has to be, they are the best.
What are they ending their set with?
Snow.
Okay.
What else is there?
my dream Chili Pepper set,
Uh-huh.
they end with By the Way. Or Breaking the Girl.
By the Way, to me, is like that, so they're going to play like Zeppelin and like all that stuff from By the Way that's like all chilled out and like hippie groovy shit. They're going to play that, and then to kick the thing back into gear, they're going to play By the Way.
Yeah.
So that's like a mid-show banger that you just throw at them to bring the crowd back. But I wouldn't. But yeah, it's gotta be Snow. It's gotta be Snow.
Is Dave Navarro there at all?
No, it's for
Okay.
Shanti. I'm for Shanti for sure. So then, so Red Hot Chili Peppers, and then the headliner. You're like, how can Red Hot Chili Peppers not be the fucking headliner?
Are we about to blow the roof off this bitch?
There's only one band that I would give an organ to see live: System of a Down. That's it. I mean, that's and they like. There's only a few bands that you know every word to every song from every fucking album. System's one of them.
And you really have to put in the effort to understand all the words in System songs.
You have to put in the effort.
But it's fucking worth it, and we all fucking did it.
My brother and I, a number of times, have had the fucking tickets in the checkout cart ready to pay for on a credit card, and we just can't justify that much money. Because you're a down payment on a car to go see System of a Down at this point.
Yeah.
So, if we're having the Josh and JP fucking show from start to finish, Mindless Self-Indulgence, Incubus, Chili Peppers, and SOAD.
What do they end that set with? I think on paper it has to be Chop Suey.
No, I don't think.
Because like they come back out for like the encore.
See, Chop Suey's in the encore, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm saying that like that's when they come back out, the last song they play is Chop Suey.
Oh. Or Toxicity. BYOB.
I mean.
So here's how I would end it, and this is keep in mind this is JP and Josh's show.
Mm-hmm.
They end with aerials, including the weird like fucking jungle beat thing at the end. Like that has to be part of it.
Yeah.
That's how they end everything, and like we high five and then just I don't know fall asleep in the parking lot because we're both way too hammered to go anywhere.
Fuck.
Like I said, one of mine was like an Ozfest lineup.
Yeah.
There it is.
Shit. Yeah. I mean, I'm coming to that show.
Oh, dude.
I'm coming to that show.
That show would cost $1 gajillion and your liver, and I would just be like, take it. Shut up and take my money.
Yeah. It's a hell of a lineup.
You put a lien on the house for that money.
Oh, yeah.
For that show. Yeah.
You go on a full GTA crime spree to get that fucking money for that show.
Yeah, fucking Point Break.
I jump out of a plane with no parachute for that fucking show. I don't know where the O2 Arena is, but I know that bitch is on an island, so I'm landing in the water and I'm swimming to that fucking
The O2
venue.
Arena is in England.
Which is an island, right?
Yeah, it's like it's like that or Wembley are like the two big like out. Well, that one's a covered stadium, but it's like a soccer rugby stadium.
Yeah, and one of my shows that didn't happen was happening at Wembley with Oasis. So.
Oh, Oasis, Blur, U2.
Ooh, probably not Blur.
Okay.
Probably Oasis, U2. I don't know. Yeah,
okay.
But definitely U2. You know, not to get on a tangent here before we end this bitch, but U2 is one of those bands that I think most of us like grew into.
I never grew into them.
Oh,
but
they're good.
Justin
There's a
Lutteran
reason they're
loves
really
U2.
famous.
Yeah, Justin Lutteran loves U2. I have been to Joshua Tree. Those are my trees. You're all welcome.
Hey.
All right, so that's the episode. Now, if you're like, I loved everything that these guys just fucking said, and you want to just get a little bit deeper into it and hear some tunes along the way, the Spotify episode is going to play next.
Yeah. And so here's the thing.
If you're on Spotify, it's just going to play right after this, so just keep listening.
I'm an Apple Music guy.
Yeah.
But
Spotify,
it's free.
Yeah.
So you don't
have
to have Spotify to listen to this.
Right.
So
yeah,
you have no reason not to.
Right. So tune in because that's such a cool feature. I'll probably cut in the part where Derek's like, "Good call finding that,"
Yeah.
because it's awesome that we can just play it, and a lot of you listened to "It's a Sad One," and I think we all dug the music in it. So we're gonna try to do one of these maybe like once a month.
Yeah, and here's a pro tip. I don't know how many of you listen to this while you're working from home, but as someone who is working from home and listens to a lot of podcasts, even if you're an Apple Music person, the Spotify web player for like PC and laptop works so much better than Apple Music's. The Apple Music one's like hard to find and it's just like unappealing to use. But if you're working from home and you want to listen to this, Spotify web player, just Google it. Super easy. You'll find it.
Yeah.
Lickety fucking split.
So we'll see you guys on the bonus episode right after this one. And then those who didn't dig it as much, we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah. And fuck you.
We'll see them next week and then fuck them, or fuck you, we'll see you next week.
Depending on my mood.
It's kind of like a Goosebumps story. Choose your own adventure. Yeah. We'll find out.
You getting fucked or you having a good time?
All right.
Fuck or get off the pot, kid.
This has been a Great Depression. Remember, we are now in your brains.
This is the first